everybody. I'm doing a session for a client, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you today, and thank you very much for opening the door for me and others to participate in this experience with you. So I'm going to go ahead and read your goals out loud, and then I'm going to get started. Okay. You say, I'd like to receive healing for my sacral chakra. I've been through a lot of memories that have hurt me when it comes to sexuality, and I want to nurture and strengthen this part of who I am. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to relax and get tuned in. This could be pretty sensitive, so let's see what comes up, okay? Okay. All right. When I go into your sacral chakra, I see there's multiple versions of people. And I don't know if these people represent you or other people, but this one in particular that keeps catching my eye, I don't understand why they're made. It's like they're made out of wood, but not. There's a organic kind of skin-like tissues and organs, but they snap like twigs on a tree. And I see the neck snap back, and the tongue is really long and hanging out like a dog tongue in a way. But other parts of the back seem to be broken, and I keep experiencing it like broken boards, broken wood, broken twigs. But then it's like bodies that are broken, and then organs are kind of exposed, all right? And I can tell there's multiples of people in here that are like this, but there's only one that I can actually visibly see clearly. And this one is a male, a persona of a man. And he really likes to, even though he looks broken, very obviously broken, he would never want anybody to see, perceive him as broken, okay? So as I come closer and he sees me looking at him, he's trying to reorganize himself and present himself as whole, okay? He's got phenomenal personality. He uses his personality almost like a magician with sleight of hand, because I'm quite entranced in how funny he is, and how witty he is. And they keep showing me a magician who is pulling a coin out of thin air is really not pulling it out of thin air. It's using a trick or a technique like sleight of hand, so you don't notice what's really going on here. So he's projecting such a profoundly awesome personality, so you can't see the truth about how broken he actually is, okay? And I'm working on letting him settle into his true appearance as I initially had seen him. I'm encouraging him to settle into his true appearance, and he is like, I'm not disabled, I'm not handicapped, I don't need help. Look at me, I've got the energy of 10,000 people. Look at me, look at how great I am, you know? And he's almost convincing me into thinking that maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm the one that is wrong here. Maybe I misjudged you. But I don't feel like I did. So I'm actually timing this scene out immediately. The problem is when I tell him the truth about what I saw, he doesn't choose to receive my viewpoint or my opinion on things. He's deflecting it because the only opinion that's real is his opinion. His opinion is that he is in excellent shape. He is strong. He is healthy. He is animated, he's funny, he's the best, okay? He's the best. This is hard because if your opinion doesn't matter, then your viewpoint will never be heard. Therefore, in a way, you don't exist in the conversation unless you're on the same page as him. So the only page that exists in the conversation is his page. And so you see this, this is very familiar to me. This is familiar because I would define this type of personality as narcissistic, you know? Like when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, they're going to convince you that any opinion that you have that is beneath the level of their greatness is you are incorrect. You are seeing things incorrectly. And so convincing that you will question yourself to the point that you'll stop trying to present your viewpoint. So you basically start to learn how to not have a voice anymore, okay? You basically learn how to not really exist unless you are a part of the fantasy, okay? So you must be a part of the fantasy in order for you to see eye to eye to communicate, okay? If you're not part of the fantasy, then you must have lost your mind. I mean, you must be nuts to think that I had a broken neck and my tongue was hanging out and I've got broken body parts. You must be nuts. Because look at me, I'm none of those things. This is in your sacral chakra, but I experience there's multiples of this, okay? Like I'm experiencing 4 or 5 versions of this going on in here. And it's almost like you're attracted to broken people that present themselves as though they have it completely together. And they're really like adapted a certain personality that is fun to be around. But in a way, you're the one that is deflected back as the one with all the problems. And they're the one that has it together. When in the first place, you were attracted to them because you wanted to help them. Because you wanted to help them to see themselves clearly. And you admired their character. You admired their personality or their presentation of confidence, or there's something about you really like confident people who are funny, people who are who really talk the talk. Maybe they don't walk the walk, but they really talk the talk, and it's almost like you could believe they walk the walk and talk the talk because they walk the walk. So I see you becoming basically a soft voice, okay, a softer voice. But it's strange because I experience you as being okay with that. I experience you gravitating toward this personality. This personality actually looks like Rick, okay, from Rick and Morty. This man looks and behaves like Rick from Rick and Morty. So the world has to revolve around Rick, right? And then everybody in Rick's life actually, in a way, I mean, people admire Rick because Rick is awesome, right? He really is awesome. And he does walk the walk of his awesomeness, but there's something about how he treats other people who love him. There's a lack in his ability to work on the level of love. And so I'm shown that this presentation reminds me of Rick from Rick and Morty, and there's this narcissistic element to it. And I experience you attracted to narcissistic personalities because of their personalities. They're boisterous personalities. You're attracted to that. And I see you becoming softer and more like enjoying just how they present themselves. And you don't really need anything in return because you just enjoy being around such animated people. And so you don't, there's a problem with this because you're not receiving anything. Literally, you're not receiving anything from this other than the joy of being around an animated and interesting person. But you're not actually, what are you receiving from this? That's the question, is what are you receiving from this? I keep hearing that you don't want anything in return. You don't want anything in return. So you're present, you support the narcissist. The narcissist loves you for that, right? For that support. The narcissist encourages you to get into the certain program that the narcissist needs. And then now you're compatible with one another, and you can be around an animated, funny person, but then you're never going to receive anything from the narcissist except, appreciation for you just letting them be who they are. Don't challenge them. And if you even think you can challenge them, you're the one that has lost your marbles, Let me see. You're literally expressing yourself as feeling comfortable in this. But there's a reason why this is coming up as part of the problem, okay? This is coming up in your sacral chakra as part of the problem. You're attracted to somebody who you see beneath the surface of their personality. You can support their growth and development. You see them as an opportunity to help a soulmate, who's going down that path, exploring that path, okay? But now there's the psychological challenge. Will they ever hear you? Will they ever acknowledge you? Will they overcome that program? Will they overcome their own psychology? Are you actually going to help them, or are you going to slowly be the one that is broken like they are? Because they break you down. They will break you down, right? If you stay around that environment long enough, you will find yourself broken down the way that you saw them, but they'll never acknowledge that they were ever broken. You are the broken person, not them. Everything is so silent in here. I feel like I'm not even, this is just like maybe a pinpoint of a view into your sacral chakra. I mean, I feel like this is very small in comparison to what we really need to look at. So perhaps you're deflecting this avenue for me to explore, to talk about, when there's something 10,000 times more uncomfortable. Like, that's easy. What is beneath the surface of that is way worse, like so uncomfortable. You want to keep things as digestible, as easy, as even funny, almost like the narcissistic personality overrides, is louder than, but really we need to go into what you are most uncomfortable with when it comes to this, okay? Yeah, you've got the ego army here because I'm onto something and you don't want to go there. Is that the narcissistic personality inside yourself? Like, on some level, I feel like we all have this going on some level. Because you really do not want, you immediately say, I'm not a narcissist because I am willing to face this. I'm just scared. You say, okay, fine, you got me. The ego army, I'm presenting the ego army because I am avoiding, I need more time, I need more preparation, I'm not ready yet, but at least I can acknowledge that I do need to work on this. So don't call me a narcissist. You're basically saying that. I say, okay, you need time then, okay. Well, we can work with that. Oh. Okay. This is, your throat is in your sacral chakra. And when I say, okay, you need time, you basically hawk out your throat from your sacral chakra up through your stomach, through your heart, through your throat, and out your mouth. And it's like a little tube, basically, just came straight up and out of you. A tube did. It's weird. And it represents your throat. Why is your throat in your sacral chakra? Okay, the next thing, I'm just going to have to go through this no matter how weird it is, but the next thing, it's gyrating, okay? And there's all these weird little black spiders, and the little black spiders are just like making these like weird laughter noises, but because there's like million of them and they're all making weird laughter noises that are kind of scratchy and vibraty, it just sounds like really crazy in here. Like, all different types of laughter happening, overlapping each other, vibrating, scratching noises. And there's so much of this, okay, in your sacral chakra. And this, you did this to overpower the fact that you're screaming. Beneath the surface of this sound is you screaming. And, okay, I don't know what to make of this. Because I mean, is this the initial energy? Because you're, beneath the surface, you're screaming, and there is a massive baseball bat. And the baseball bat is basically shoved inside of you and shoved straight up into your brain. And you're put on a post, literally forced to sit on a stick, basically, a baseball bat. And you're screaming, and it's almost like so incoherent to the mind that I can't even tell if it's real or not. It's almost like it's so extreme, it's hard to believe any of this is real, you know? And you choking on the bat that's now in your head. You're completely on a post. And you can't speak or move or do anything. You're stuck. And you don't hate yourself. That's literally, I say, do you hate yourself for this? And nothing comes back. And you say, no, you don't. It's like you're not perfect. Like you can acknowledge that you're not perfect, but you can't stop this. You can't get off of it. You can't get out of this. You can't shift this reality for yourself. You can't, and you don't know how to shift the reality for yourself. You're literally stuck. I still feel like the sound of this is like way off the charts. And we need to bring it back down to reality, because the sound of what this sounds like isn't, it sounds vibrationally, it says this isn't realistic, or it's vibrationally, it's like saying sugar, like when I eat ice cream, I feel happy. Well, that's not necessary. There's an illusion going on here, you know, there's an illusion. So are you in love with sugar, or are you empty inside and need the sugar love in order to feel complete? You know what I mean? Like, so I just, something feels like this is part of an illusion as well. Like the narcissist has the illusion going on. Now this is some kind of illusion you've got going on too. I'm literally I'm bringing in the sound into yourself. So I really need to be able to hear you for as you are. And as I do that, you become smaller, infinitely smaller, and you're falling into an infinite space. And you can't ever get out of it, which isn't true either. You made yourself small. You chose to fall, infinitely fall. And you chose to say you can't get out of this. None of that stuff is true. You convinced yourself. You're the magician with the sleight of hand that convinced yourself of these ideas. And none of them were real. So who are you avoiding being? Maybe all this that's happened to you that you feel is a part of your sacral chakra, maybe it's time to say it's over now. Because I will say vibrationally, you actually vibrationally feel like you're ready to move on. And maybe you're holding on to the idea that there's still a lot of desecration because of what you've been through. But what if you've actually healed it, but don't believe that you have? And that's actually a neat thing, because you can say that it's time now to move on because there's nothing else to do here. I actually feel that's what I'm running into here. So literally, that's what I'm being presented with. You know what? You say You say something like this: I'm going to bring myself back to myself, and I'm not small anymore. And it's kind of like maybe you've defined some of these relationships as having taken advantage of you. And I don't feel like that's fair to the relationship, because you were also the magician here too. You were also participating in your own sleight of hand illusionary stuff that created the it takes two to tango kind of thing. So there was something in and of yourself that you weren't allowing yourself to be strong. Is that what it is? I don't know. It's like you were suppressing your truth, being with somebody who would then suppress your truth, when all along it was all just like, nah, like, why did you want to suppress your truth? Then you need somebody to suppress your truth. So then that's the somebody that did it to you when you started it. And now you can go on to being who you are if you're ready for that. The question is, are you ready for that? Because I feel like you've outgrown all this stuff. And maybe you just simply needed somebody to analyze and tell you that, so that you can now say, I did outgrow this. I am really a strong person. And maybe I needed that experience for whatever reason, so that I could go through all that stuff, feel smaller than I was, feel like I was, going into the infinite void as this infinitely smaller person that was getting like sucked into all this, only so that now I can just be done with that. Just be done with all of that. Maybe you don't want to rely on yourself. Maybe you want to lean on someone in your life. Oh man, this is really complex. Like, this could actually go quite complex as to why you needed that sleight of hand scenario for yourself. You needed the illusions. There's a complex reason as to why. I would love to stick around for this, but this is all I can share for now. That actually is really good news. I want to emphasize that's really good news. And I really encourage you to see your sacral chakra as actually full of profound, vibrant color, vibrant light, vibrant love. And that there's no choking on anything in here. There's no you feeling infinitely smaller in here. And everything that you've been through, it's time to just say that you did it. You conquered it. It's time to say that I am healed and I'm ready for the next experience with my sacral chakra. So let's let everything be new, which could probably feel like a new experience to have a new sacral chakra. How weird would that be? We're like starting from a fresh new story, So you've done it. Like, that's literally what the message is I'm meant to present to you. So thank you so much for this. Thank you so very much. All right. And thank you for sharing. And thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all have a great day.